Real quick, I'm going to show you how to record, watch, then find the replays, and send your replays to people from the game Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. It's pretty straightforward and easy. It's not remotely that hard. I mean, when I say this is easy, it's just knowing where things are at and then opening them in the game, which is even easier than it sounds. So first of all, let's answer some frequently asked questions I keep seeing in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega Discord. Where are the files? The files are going to be located once again in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega files themselves. So let me share where that's at once again if you didn't watch my last video. You're going to right click on your Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega icon if you have it on your desktop. You're going to go to Open Files. It's going to be under Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega Data. You're going to go to Files, and it's going to be all right here once again. Under Replays, this is where it's going to be saved. I moved these because I wanted to make sure I was understanding how this worked. Each one of these are literally all duels, and there's 243 in this one, and there's only one currently under this one, which I labeled Tunes. Another question you might have is, why are they dated like that? As you see, it says that it is 2025, May 7th. Now, if this is throwing you for a loop, I totally understand. I don't know what the -12 is about because that's not part of it. This is an archival way of locating things, and it's a lot easier to understand when something came out and so on, so that way if you need to locate something, it's pretty straightforward and easy. This is a very common, useful formatting, so in case you ever want to archive old episodes of stuff, say for instance like this right here, this is the Sherlock Holmes from 1947. These are all audio files called radio dramas, if you didn't know that. This is like 1947, January 4th, The Darlington Substitute. These are some of my favorite things to listen to. I'm a huge radio dramas fan, so having them archived like this actually helps me find certain files, certain episodes a lot quicker. And yes, you can definitely, if they're audio files, you can set them like this, as you see. Sometimes you don't want to do that. Maybe you're trying to find a very specific file, and it's just easier to find it like that sometimes. The next question a lot of people have is, how do I watch them and how do they work? Like MKVs, MP4s, AVIs, and anything else? No, you can't watch these in VLC Media Player or anything like that. These aren't their own files. They work directly in-game and only with this game. All of your replays are going to be under the main menu where it says replays. When you open it up, this is where it's going to be. When you place any replay in here, this is where it's going to be. It's going to pop up here. So if I want to watch this game, why don't we watch it real quick so you understand? It moved so fast you could barely hear the song at the very end of it, which I sort of think is funny. You have rewatch, save replay, room screen, check field, and leave, but obviously you can't use those, which is a bummer. You can't save or room screen. Under your settings up at the top, it's going to be under social. So every time you save something, you can either have it auto-save or you can save it directly. Simple as that. Another question you may ask is, do they take up a lot of space? I'll let you figure this one out by reading that. It takes up less space with 243 of these files than the average MP3. 243 little files, and you can literally just drag and drop these in anywhere you want, and pretty much no one's even going to know. You could probably save almost all of these like 2 or 3 NFC tags, and people are going to be like, oh my god. Even then, just upload them to Discord at that point. I could literally just take them, right click, and I could compress them all into a RAR file and give them to somebody on a flash drive or just email it over to somebody. But because how tiny these files are, you could just send literally any of these in any format you want. So say for instance, I want to see what this file looks like. It literally just looks like a bunch of gibberish. You're not going to be able to understand this, and neither am I. I have no idea what I'm looking at, and it's in Notepad++. So looking at this is like, I don't even know, dude. I don't know what I'm looking at. On the plus side, I did learn previously you can hot swap files in. I'll show you what I mean. Hot swapping is where you're capable of throwing things in places and you can go back and forward and it'll do it again. So let's grab, what's the largest one in here? 35 KB. We're going to grab that. We're actually going to hit Control X, client. We're going to put this in here. As you see, it's not there. We're going to go back. We're going to hit replay. We're going to click on this. I have no idea what deck this is. Oh, it's that deck. Okay, I know exactly what deck this is. This is the Slifer deck. I cannot guarantee if I'm going to win this one, so I'm not even going to watch it because it's probably way too long. It's an experimental deck I'm still tinkering with on my own. I don't want to net deck that deck. I want to see what I can make work. The last question is, what type of file are they? It's just called a byte file. I don't know what it is. I don't know how they work. That's the best thing I can tell you. I think that's everything I can teach you about replays, how to do it, and everything like that. And you can actually send the byte files either as the file themselves, or you can also just upload the text in it to most places and it should be able to read it. But I highly recommend just send the file. It'll be way easier than that. I don't know if anything's going to flag it if you download the files. I've never tested it, so give it a shot. Throw it in these folders. If you want to watch somebody's replays, you just need to put them in there and it works. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come back anytime you like for any videos that I make. I like teaching, so who knows? Later, taters.